Hey, we're back.
Hey,
Hello
hey.
again.
Hello.
How's everyone doing?
Oh,
Good.
Good.
on bated breath, just pins and needles all week.
Pins and
Yeah.
needles.
I know.
Yeah, I've been trying to, work in some more cliffhangers on the end of these episodes, and don't know if you guys are liking it or not.
Uh-huh. It's good.
Yeah,
Good.
I like it. I don't know about someone who has to wait a week.
Right, right. Yeah. I know whenever I was growing up, watching Hardcastle and
Yep.
McCormick, and they'd have a cliffhanger, and I'd have to wait, or Knight Rider or something.
These kids don't understand that before
Oh.
binging.
Binging is the best thing to ever
Yeah,
happen. I don't have to
it
wait
is.
anymore.
No.
Well, now you have to wait between seasons. So you get the
Yeah.
season and
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the worst wait.
Unless you're my wife who says, this show looks really good.
I'm gonna
Let's wait until it's canceled and then watch the whole thing. I'm like that. I don't really think that logic makes sense. But
It's kind of like I was just started watching Lost again, and you have to really pay attention to it. But once you know what things happen, it doesn't. The second time is not as good as the first time. And that just reminds me of leaving it on the cliffhangers because Abrams loved the first couple seasons, loved to leave it in cliffhangers.
Yeah.
That reminds me a lot of the same thing.
I was so obsessed with that show.
yeah, same here. Has anyone rewatched Battlestar Galactica?
No.
Like the original 80s one?
Not the 80s one. No, I
Yeah.
never
More
watched
recent
that.
one.
With Elmos.
Yeah.
No, I mean I watched the new one live as it came out, and then the ending made me so angry that I rage quit, and I don't think I'd ever watch it again.
Rage quit.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was the ending, but but it was just, yeah.
Right.
It was an ending. Yeah.
An ending. Yeah.
It's one of the shows on my list to try to rewatch, but I have doubts that it's gonna be rewatchable. I'm just not sure. I was curious, see if anyone had.
I mean, the one I want to do is Babylon 5. I want to go back and do that.
That's worth it.
Is it really?
Yeah. I did that probably 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I have
That's
never
when you
watched
rewatched it?
I
Babylon
rewatched
5.
it 20
Yeah.
years ago. Yeah.
I've never
I
seen
watched
it.
that 3 times maybe through.
But
Wow.
you've never seen it?
I've never seen it. No.
Oh, really?
It's on our list because we know we've heard a lot of people recommend it and we never get around to it. And so it's kind of like our maybe going into this fall list of things
I
to
really
start watching.
love that story. I mean, that was one of those where it's like it was all written out ahead of time, so they weren't making crap up.
Right.
And I was like, oh, this is going to be this many seasons,
Right.
all planned and made sense from the beginning to the end, and had a satisfaction. I mean, it was like,
Yeah.
we know whether or not the effects and everything's stand up. I don't know, but the story and some of the acting is
Yeah.
just fantastic. So,
I agree.
Wow.
The storyline was so solid throughout, and exactly what Don said. You could tell that it was created for that purpose of beginning to finish, and the story didn't waver. There wasn't holes or in the plot, anything like that.
and just some of the characters, just some of my favorite. Andreas Katsulas playing Jakar,
Yes.
just
Mhm.
God, he was amazing in that show.
Well, now you've got my nerd blood
There you go.
pumping. So I might have to check that out a little bit sooner than I had planned.
Yeah.
I know I had, it's come up over and over again, and I literally feel like I've watched everything there is on Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Disney Channel.
Yeah. Do Babylon 5. There's a lot of content there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot.
that would keep us going
Yeah.
for a while.
And then there was the spin-off show and the
Yeah.
movie. I mean,
Yeah.
How's Alone going for you guys?
it's good. We're on. So we watched 1 through 4, 6, and now we're on 5.
Yeah, they just finished season 7 now.
Yeah.
Season 7 was good.
So
It's,
you're still making episodes of that?
Well, I'm sure it was backdated. It was last winter, I think, because it was started. Last season 7 is 100 days for $1 million.
They made it
and-
100 days.
Yes.
Ow.
Oh, in the Arctic Circle.
No way.
Yep. And it started in late, in late fall or in fall. So
Okay,
it's probably from 2019.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Awesome. Well, now I have a few things that I can watch, and I don't have to rewatch Deep Space Nine again. or watch crochet videos on YouTube, which seems to be the thing that's always on in her house right now. But she's making very nice things for the home. We've got blankets and scarves and all kinds of stuff. She made a little basket while we were recording the last episode to put our toothpaste in. So, I mean, you know, she's productive and handy.
That's just too wholesome, Jerry. I need some gritty,
Yeah, right.
some grim, dark storytelling now, just to wash that sweetness out of my mouth.
Well, I did tell you that I walked upstairs in our break and she was watching the show on YouTube, which you all can do. And she was starting with episode 1 of this season, and she looked at me, and I was, you know, kind of weirded out because I heard my voice as I came up the stairs, and then she said, you know, this is actually pretty good. And I just kind of gave her a glare because I'm like, yeah, we've been working on it for a while now. And she's getting around I know she's listened to some episodes, and she's always the sounding board when I'm trying to figure out if I'm messing with you guys too much or not enough. So.
So she tones you down? Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. Maybe you guys
really
over
need to
at
keep
dinner
her on
or
the payroll.
Yeah.
No,
Well, this could go. Speaking of, play your cards right, and this could be really a bad episode for Vic.
Vic
Yeah.
and Burger.
Sorry, Vic.
Gonna get bad pretty soon. Well, thank you all. Sorry to get off on show talk there, but I need something to watch, so I will get tips wherever I can. If anyone else has tips, feel free to leave them on Facebook or something.
We could do a spin-off episode and just talk about TV.
We could.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. We could do that just for fun. But for now, we are here for episode 26, I believe.
Yep.
And sort of left off in a cliffhanger, like I said. And before we let Alar give us his delightful recap, I would just like to say to everyone listening, thanks for being there. Thanks for supporting us. You can go up on patreon.com/Dungeon Patrol. Give us $1 or $2 to keep this adventure rolling. Go to dungeonpatrol.com and click on the Patreon button. If that's your thing, great. If not, all we ask is, take care of yourself. Stay healthy, stay well, treat each other nicely, and hopefully we'll eventually get to the end of a pandemic and I can start not watching shows again, doing other things out of the house, which would be amazing. But we'll get there sooner or later.
Someday.
Yeah, someday. Everyone looks stressed as we're even thinking about it, but we'll get there. And Alar, you're up. Recap us away.
Short and sweet. Alar and the visitors crept through the sewers back to Old Town, careful to avoid a trap left on the corpse of their dear friend Rollo. They also snuck up on a sleeping sentry. Kragar and Triss crept further along, only to be spotted by another guard. Will Alar and Brokos be able to rescue their clumsy friends? Find out on Dungeon Patrol.
Nicely done.
Yeah. I want to know how this guy knew we were coming. So.
Yeah. We'll find out, right?
Yeah, right now. Who do we see?
And who is this guy? There's many questions. I have no idea.
A guard, yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
how high up is the window? Important details.
Yeah, it's about 15 feet off the ground. You look up as this crash happens in front of you. Something heavy tumbles down into the brush, and you heard someone say, well, look who we have here. And as you look up, you see a familiar face split by a row of gleaming white teeth. Pier's smile is half the result of relief and half joy. Relief that you're not in Old Town Patrol, and joy at seeing friends and allies. 1 second, I'll be right down. Don't move, he says before disappearing from the broken window frame. A few moments later, you hear some rustling, and Piers quietly pulls up close to you. So, what's the plan? What are you guys doing here? You know, if they find you, they'll kill you, right?
We're doing the killing today. And you just about got it yourself. You startled me so. He might notice that I'm holding a silver dagger.
Oh, nice.
He might notice that I look like Vic.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I'm sorry, I forgot all about that. So he's looking at you, Kragar, and while he's saying that and kind of side-eyeing Vic slash Triss and, looking at your dagger. So he seems a little bit disconcerted by what's going on. He's like, what are you doing here? What's going on?
We're here on a rescue mission. What are you doing here?
Oh, well, it's like, well, you don't have to worry about the guy that was sitting at the window. He's taken care of. And then he kind of lifts up or parts some of the brush, and you can see that there's a body back there. Must be Burger, you guess. He looks over at Vic slash Triss and seems a little reluctant to talk. And he's like, who's your friend?
Why did you kill Burger? We had questions for Burger.
He was watching the path here.
Yeah, we know that. We were looking for him to ask him questions.
I'm sorry. And you are?
Vic.
Okay, Vic, I need to get into the sewers, so I just didn't want anyone seeing me go down this way. I'm sorry if he was a friend of yours. I
didn't say he was
know.
a friend. I said we had questions for him.
Okay. Well,
We just came from the sewers, Pierce. Why are you going through the sewers?
and he looks again, gives a long stare at Vic, kind of cocks his head, and he's like, looks at you, and he's like, it's almost time, if you know what I mean. I figured I could get lost in the sewers for a night, perhaps, and not harm anyone.
So you're a werefolk?
All right, I'm going to walk over and
Yes.
grab Burger and toss him over my shoulder. Let's go back to the others.
Okay. So you're dragging the body of Burger and making your way down back to the others, up the path, and you arrive, and everyone seems, I imagine you guys are a little shocked to see Piers again. And
I never look shocked, Jerry.
For the record, it was Pierce's fault, and I'll throw the body on the ground next to Vic.
Piers,
before-
good to see you again.
I'm comfortably close to him, by the way. Just like,
Nice. So you drop the body down at the feet of your allies here. And Piers like, sorry, I didn't know you wanted to question them. I just wanted to get down into the sewers.
does he notice the fact that there's the person tied
Another
up is
Vic?
also the other person standing there?
Oh, no, he probably doesn't. Well, I'll see if he... Oh, okay. So he looks around the room and kind of sidles his way over to get a good look at the face of the person you have bundled up over here. And then he looks back at the Vic that is standing, and he's like, Triss? Is that
This
you?
is Vic. This is Vic and my other brother, Vic.
Victor.
Okay. He shakes his head, looks really confused, and he's like, I don't know what you guys are playing at here, but I think I should be in the sewers. Where are you headed?
We are headed to Black Alley. We're seeking to rescue one of our friends.
Ah. Well, you should have a pretty easy path ahead of you. It seems like most of the guards and lookouts have been moved closer to the boundary with Bleakstone. I'm not sure why that is, but I spotted this sentry, this burger, from across the street, and I got the sense that he was watching this path and supposed to be keeping a lookout. So again, sorry I took him out.
So what's the best way to get to Black Alley?
So he has kind of made his way through that section of Old Town to get to where he is now. And he is happy to tell you what he thinks is the best path. And he's actually familiar with the Belfry Union, if you guys do tell him that. You know, it was an officer club. He said that he didn't spend a lot of time there, but he definitely knows roughly where it's at. So he is happy to kind of draw you a crude map and give you some instructions on how to get there and what he thinks is the safest way possible.
Okay, definitely.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
Pierce, cover the grate when you leave.
Wait, before he leaves, I'm going to use my tail to tap him on the shoulder.
okay, he jumps a little bit and he's like, Triss, I assumed that was you, but it's so hard to tell. You guys have so many tricks.
Our friend Rollo's down there if you need a snack.
Not Rolo.
Oh,
I'm still heartbroken.
oh, so cruel.
So many fond memories of Rolo.
Yeah. And he's not giving you the bird, just FYI. It's meant for other people.
Take it how it is.
I won't mention it.
So Piers takes a look out the window, looking out over the courtyard, looks up at the sky, kind of shakes his head a little bit ruefully. And he's like, I'm glad you managed to avoid a curse of your own, Craigar. This is not what I enjoy. I'd much rather be looking for my sister right now, but I can't put innocent lives in jeopardy. So
Well, let me know
hopefully-
if you ever come across a werebear. I might reconsider.
Again, friend, I wouldn't recommend it, but I will let you know if I run across any such creature. So he's going to take off. He tells you all about the Belfry Union, you know, as much as he knows, and says basically, stay safe, friends, until we meet again. And as he's leaving, he says, you know, I think your chances would increase if you waited until full dark. Just want you to be safe. And then he gives you a little salute and walks on out, and you see him disappear down into the grate.
All right.
So what do you think? We wait till dark? Just press on?
Well, we can take a short rest, perhaps. Wait till dark.
What about Vic here?
Oh, he can keep himself company tied up.
Should
I'll play some tunes for him.
Should give him to Piers for snacking on later.
That seems needlessly cruel.
Okay, short rest.
It help me out a little bit.
So
How
shall-
far?
I mean,
An
do we want
hour?
a short rest here, like in this little guard station? Do we want to?
So I would say that this is a good plan, either here or the room where the defenestration happened.
Yes.
So that if they do a shifting of the guards, they don't discover Vic tied up and then not go looking for us.
Okay. Makes sense to me.
Well, does that upstairs have a vantage point on the street or just the alley?
You could see one end of the street.
Let's go there. It might be useful to have an eye on the street.
Okay. So you are taking Vic with you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
just pitch over my shoulder.
All
Keep
right.
him gagged.
So you guys make your way back.
Although actually, do we? This other body, Burger. I think we should pitch him into the sewer.
I think so.
I agree with that.
Okay.
All right, so I'll toss him down there next to Rollo.
Toss him down. Give Rollo some company.
I'll
Placing the
rifle through his
crate back.
pockets first, but then yeah.
Okay. Looks like he had 5 silver pieces on him, a dagger,
Oh.
and
A silver dagger?
not a silver dagger, unfortunately.
That is unfortunate.
You
That's
have
about
one,
it.
right?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I like a spare.
Back up. All right.
My tail
So-
dagger is not silver, so you know.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
Hmm.
So you guys put the grate back, I'm assuming,
Yes.
and make your way back down the path. Going straight up the stairs or through the brush. Either way, you manage to make it into the front of the building without any being noticed at all, at least as far as you can tell. And you find the stairway fairly easily and walk your way up, and you can see that there's a, kind of a similar to what Vic had at his lookout post. Just a crate or a couple of barrels sitting around that you could sit on, and just kind of stationed over this window. And as you set yourself up, you do find a crossbow up there. So that was left behind when Piers tossed his body over. And other than that, it looks like they just set up. Like they went, had the raid on Wolf Canute and the vineyard, and came back and just decided, spur of the moment to leave a couple of people to watch this entrance.
Is this like an old house?
Yeah, it's kind of like a tenement building, apartment building, but obviously seen better days. Pretty run down. Nobody's living there now. And, doesn't look like, that's a result of the uprising or anything. It looked like it was pretty much, has been uninhabited for years.
Well, I guess once they start resting, I'll just wander through it quickly just to make sure. I don't know, just searching.
Okay. You do end up, it's a lot of junk. It looks like, people have kind of come and gone, made little temporary, used the place for some kind of temporary shelter now and then. You find, some old straw mats on the floor in some places, mostly moldering away at this point. But eventually you do get to the other side of the building and find kind of the companion to this room that you're stationed in. And you can see there's still glass in that window. It's cracked and broken. But as you clear off some of that, trying not to break it further, you can get a view of the other end of the street too. And it looks fairly
Okay.
quiet.
Well, I'll kick my heels up so I can take a view out of one of the windows.
All right. You
Very
don't
gently play my mandolin.
Nice. Entertainment. You don't notice a lot of foot traffic. The people that do come and go while you're watching, it's still raining out, so they've got their, hoods on their cloaks pulled up. They're rushing, to and fro, like they don't want to be out any longer than they need to. And, everything seems fairly normal, strangely quiet. Piers did relay that to you, that he feels like almost everybody that's been out has either been told to stay indoors and out of the way, or to go and look out on the boundary and wait for Wolf Canute's attack, which they're sure is going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, then we just wait. I'll play with the crossbow.
Okay.
Casually track passerbys as they go.
So you manage to make it through your short rest, and darkness sets in. And it's a lot more gradual than would be on a typical day, because the clouds are already so dark. But then you realize, you haven't seen a person go up and down the street for some amount of time, and realize that it's now full dark.
Are we ready?
Time to go.
Okay. So, to travel through this quiet section of Old Town, I'm going to ask you each to make 2 stealth rolls.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep that crossbow, by the way.
So
Okay.
before we do this, I just am going to tell my compatriots. I don't know if you remember, I'm not the best at stealth. I don't know if there's anybody that can, I don't know, do something that would help me.
Hmm.
I'll give you pointers as we go.
Encouragement. You
And my
can do
armor
it.
is noisy.
Yeah, I don't have silence.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have pass without trace.
But I don't know if there's somebody that can
I can give you guidance.
that is
I'll give you a D4 to your roll.
see that would probably help. Or I don't know if Elar could play a song that would
Be inspirational.
inspire me to not make noise. I don't know. I'm just asking for some help.
I will play a very quiet, pianissimo tune for you about creeping through the alleys. So you get a D6 instead of a D4.
Ah, there we go.
Oh,
Great.
sorry. My guidance is nothing towards your
Well,
talents.
I actually, since we have to do 2, I could probably use them both.
Actually,
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to cast guidance, and then he'll play and, take away any kind of, I felt good about it for a while. And then he's like, oh,
He's going to upstage you.
yes,
yeah.
upstage is the perfect word.
Mm. So my first one is an 11, including +5 from the.
wow. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. What about the rest of you?
A 14 and a 24.
A
14.
20 and a 6.
Okay.
So mind you, I have a +8. So I got a 9
hmm
and an 11.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez. Let me show you some tips on how to be stealthy.
I was so concerned with Chris making noise. I kept going.
Yes.
Okay, I genuinely felt a little guilty about calling you clumsy, you two,
Right.
in the intro, but I think you've earned it now. That's
Well, my second one was is a 21.
hey, there you
nice.
go.
There you go.
Nice.
It is my best skill.
Yeah.
Hubris has never killed anyone in the history.
Well, it won't kill me. My hubris is impervious.
That is amazing.
So can we all turn around and go, shh,
Yeah, exactly.
to Kragar?
Rhaegar,
In unison, so it's nice and loud.
God.
Or it's the wet fur. It's something about it. Every now and then I have to shake it off.
Okay. So at some point, that's going to come back and haunt you.
Perfect.
You round a corner and head down an alley that appeared empty. But suddenly you see a small head pop up from behind a pile of debris. A young child takes one look at your party and screams, and they push a pile of broken barrels noisily into your path and run away into the darkness. You're between two single-story buildings. Piles of debris litter the alley. You're about 30 feet from where you entered, and the alley runs another 150 feet before connecting with another road. The buildings here are clustered very tightly, and I will give you each a chance to tell me a skill that you are going to use to clear out of this alley before that child draws attention from nearby adults. So
Can
it
I
could
use
be as simple,
athletics?
yeah, as simple as
Alright.
athletics. You're just going to run fast back the other way, or
Yes, amazing speed.
Back
Tris
the
does
other
not
way.
hesitate.
Yes.
Because the
Ah.
first thing that came to my mind was the crossbow.
Oh,
But the noise has already been made.
But it would stop.
But so 21 on athletics.
Okay. So you see this child bolt down into the darkness, and Tris immediately does not hesitate. She turns around and runs back the other way.
and I get a 19 on acrobatics.
And I will
Okay.
use survival because if I don't run, I will not survive. No, I will use survival to try to find perhaps is there perhaps shrubs or rocks, something I can hide behind.
You could use some of the debris in the alleyway there, and kind of camouflage yourself.
Yes, I choose to do that. And I got a 25.
Nice. How are you going to use acrobatics, Alar?
I was going to use acrobatics to roll over the barrel debris and find a corner to hide behind up there.
Okay. Kragar, what are you doing?
So is there any place to go up? Like, is there a ledge or open window or something to climb up to?
Yeah, you think with the combination of some of the debris and ledge of this little structure on your left that you could maybe wedge yourself in between there and get up on the roof if you...
Yeah, I was thinking I'd do some cool parkour maneuver, use my super long stretchy arms to pull myself up with acrobatics.
Nice.
And put this guy over in the container here.
Mm.
So that's going to be an 8.
Oh,
Different die.
Wow.
It's really slick. The windowsills are very slick.
Come on. It's so frustrating.
So Kragar tries to pull himself up, grabs onto a tile on one of the buildings, and it breaks off in his hand, and he tumbles down to the ground. But just at that moment, as he's had the wind knocked out of him, lying there prone in the alleyway, you hear the child stop screaming, and you can just make out someone taller is down there talking to the child. Looks like they're scolding the child, and they take one glance down the alleyway and see nothing. Krager's prone body is hidden behind some of the debris and just kind of blends in.
Look at that.
The rest of you are hidden or have made it out of the alleyway, and so this person takes one glance down and continues to scold the child and grabs the little ruffian by the ear and drags him off. And several moments pass, and you hear no other sounds. Tris is around the corner, hiding out, sees no one come her way, and you guys start to carefully make your way back out of hiding.
I'm
And
just going to lay there for a good long minute, letting the cold and water just soak in. And my
yeah,
bad
think about
mood.
your choices in life, and
Just feel your shame. Just soaking it there, Kragar.
you could have just said, like a cat. You planned it out from the start to happen that way, so it all worked, right? So
I don't know. I watch a lot of parkour videos. I thought that would be easy.
Okay. And you guys managed to make it.
Did someone take Kragar's body, and is he Kragar, or did someone else just cast, a spell on?
Themselves in
someone-
disguise. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
disguise self. Is that really somebody else disguised as him?
Might be. Maybe it's Vic pulled a fast one on you guys.
Speaking of, we didn't agree on what we did with Vic.
I thought we just left
We left him
in the
there tied up
apartment.
and gagged.
We left him alive in the apartment, Kragar.
That's what you believe.
Oh,
The last that we saw of him.
Yeah.
I wonder if Karma's coming back to tell you that was maybe not okay.
yeah.
Okay. After nearly 2 hours of slow travel through the back alleys, side streets, and maze-like corridors of Old Town, you managed to reach Black Alley. A couple of close calls have you on high alert, but you guys can finally breathe a sigh of relief as your goal is in sight. You know that Black Alley is technically unaligned, but their proximity to Red Gutter and Old Town means the reality is somewhat different. The streets here are wider, but the buildings are packed just as tightly. A variety of taverns, inns, private clubs, and entertainment venues catering to every taste and budget line both sides of the street. Most of the lower rent versions are vacant now, but the larger properties seem to have a steady ebb and flow of humanoid traffic, even at this hour. Eventually, you arrive at a large structure, exactly where Piers described it would be. Situated on a corner lot, you see a covered porch runs down both sides, and a set of unadorned double doors sits below a tarnished bell. The Belfry Union.
So being from Black Alley, do I know anything extra about this? Or could I make a knowledge roll on that or something?
Sure.
Okay.
History.
So it's a 14.
You're not as familiar with this portion of Black Alley, but you do know that there are a lot of clubs like this that kind of cater to a specific audience. And this one you've heard about because it's mostly, for officers and government officials and that sort of thing. There's not like a strict code to get in, but you know that, if you had tried to go in there, in your previous life, if you tried to go in there without any justification, without any prior notice, you probably would have been, forced to leave some way or another. It's probably changed a lot since, the officers are no longer here. But it was definitely one of the larger types of these, clubs. And so it still appears to be operating from what you can tell. Other than that, you don't know much about it.
It's dark. Is it still raining?
It is drizzling and kind of raining off and on and still dark.
I would like to, at this spot, to cast Locate Object on Arvik's, one of his cloaks or one of his belts that he liked to wear. So I can locate where he possibly is. If he's
Okay.
within 1,000 feet, I'll be able to know his exact location and if he's moving at all.
Okay,
Unless
1,000
they
feet.
stripped him of his cloak and his belt, and somebody else is wearing it, and you're just tracking them.
I could, but I'm just gonna give this a shot.
Okay, worth a shot. So there is nothing within 1,000 feet.
Okay.
There you go. Well, it was worth a shot.
It is.
Yeah.
So why don't we just go to the front in disguise?
Disguise as what?
You turn back into Vic, and I'll use this potion to look like Burger, and then they can look like, I don't know,
They
Vic and
do?
Burger. Two other people.
Yeah. And you don't see as much traffic as you're watching the front of this building. You don't see many people entering or leaving, but it does appear to be open still. The few people that you do see, they don't really stand out. Obviously, they're not officers in the Legion because there are none besides maybe peers. But you get the sense that you could probably go in and not stand out too much. Probably would help if one of you or both of you didn't look how you do.
We could do
What's
the
that
classic,
supposed to be?
we could do the classic wiki prisoner trick. I mean, right?
No.
So Vic and Burger were supposed to be watching for us.
Yeah. But you are in Black Alley now, so technically they don't care.
And it's a club. It's a tavern, right? I mean,
Yeah, I
Mhm.
do not want to go in. No,
Okay, well, hold on. So maybe I'm confused. So, right, the people who attacked and captured Arvik brought him here.
We're
as far as
taking him
we
here.
know.
Yeah.
But those same people weren't they the ones that left behind Vickenberger?
Well, okay, I'll clarify a little bit there. What Skolovig said was that this person, one of the people, mentioned how he couldn't wait to get back to the Belfry Union. Not necessarily that they were bringing Arvik to the Belfry Union. And I would also point out that you do have a little bit of an advantage in that, again,
well,
I'm
I
not
want a
really-
redo of the entire last episode then, Jerry.
let's start over. You are in Black Alley, which, officially, they probably have people who are looking out for you, but what you've seen in Old Town trying to get here, most of the real hardcore Old Town and Red Gutter crews are probably on the border now. So the few people they have looking out for you here, are they going to be in this one particular bar? Well, maybe the guy that you're looking for, maybe the guy that said that might be in there, but at this point you don't really know.
So we're still trying to track somebody who might know where Arvik was taken.
So I
Correct.
think we should go in disguised and maybe see if we can get somebody talking about the big prisoner that was brought through.
I don't need a disguise.
Is there?
I can go offer my talents. This is a tavern.
Yes, I
will
have my
talk to the
drum.
barkeep.
I have my drum in my backpack, just coincidentally.
I like
This
the
is my
disguise.
trade, Triss. This is the place that I excel.
But we do not know if people have already been talking about our group of people, and if we see the infamous Alar,
Infamous.
famous, whatever. It
Likes
depends
the
upon
sounds of that.
depends upon the circles that you're talking about. Then they may be like, look for this very talented bard who is taking up company with these other people, and so they may be looking specifically for you.
I never thought fame could be something so difficult.
It'd be a downside to all this fame.
Who knew?
Fine, I can disguise myself.
All right. So you guys are all going to some lengths to disguise yourself.
Except for me.
Okay.
I can
Comb
know.
your hair forward. instead of-
Yeah, right, right.
Another
I'll just-
option would be if Tris wants to go as Vic, you guys could go in the front and try to do, social deduction, and I could go sneaking in through a back office and just see if I can find something, through subterfuge, murder.
Murder.
And murder.
I mean, just
Mostly
Always a good
murder.
detective tool.
Let's be honest. Sherlock Holmes would be so different if he just murdered
Be a
everybody. but-
lot more efficient. Just saying.
Okay. So I'm happy with whatever you guys decide to do. I think some amount of disguise is good. Obviously,
I
the
will
two.
cast disguise self on myself and to look like a slightly less attractive human.
But only slightly.
Slightly.
Only slightly.
Ego can only take so much.
That's right.
I will look like Vic. That's fine.
Okay. You're going to look like Vic.
Hmm.
Craig, are you going in? Are you going to.
He's Burger.
I'm gonna go. Oh, I think I'm gonna sneak around back.
You're
then.
going in the back, yeah.
My people skills really aren't great, so
Yeah. Okay. And.
And those stealth skills are really doing a great job too there, man.
I got a new dice, so we're gonna do that.
He's set. Don't worry about him.
I
Um,
will go follow, if it's okay with Kragar, in the back and just watch the back.
All right. Okay. So the two of you go in disguise inside of the Belfry Union, where you find a comfortable open lounge. Padded red velvet chairs sit around glistening mahogany tables. Leather sofas sit around the outskirts of the room. And along with a large stone fireplace, they give the large space a cozy, almost intimate feel. A few of the tables are occupied, men and women nursing drinks, either alone or in pairs. Along the far wall, you notice a dark bar trimmed with brass accents. Behind the bar, you see the wall adorned with flags of famed Legion units, the Krakens, the Bloodless, the King's Tenth, the Giant's Hammers, and countless others still hang proudly, even though these same units may soon be storming the city. Your examination of the Legion insignias is disturbed by some movement that you spot out of the corner of your eye. A wisp of golden hair bobs back and forth along the bar, and you catch a few notes from a popular folk song being hummed in time with the fuzzy mops bouncing. Suddenly, the humming stops, and you hear a scrape and a clomp clomp as a short halfling climbs aboard a stool and pokes his head over the bar. He stares at you through thick, wire-rimmed glasses, adjusting them as he squints. "Help you?" he says, stifling a yawn. "I'm cleaning up for the night, but if you hurry up, I can pour you a pint."
Oh, that's too bad. I was going to offer my services. I
Ah,
could accompany your humming. That's a lovely tune. Have you
yes.
ever heard the original in Elvish?
I don't believe I have, no.
Do you have need of a bard or a minstrel?
I'm afraid we don't. We're all covered for bards.
Ah, too bad. Well, I suppose my friend Vic and I will just take a drink then.
Ah, very good, very good. And he goes over to a small cask in the back and fills up 2 mugs, brings them back over. You hear him scrape of the stool as he moves it over closer to you and steps back on it and shoves the mugs in front of you.
And as he does, I'm going to be picking out the instrumentation of the folk song he was humming.
You're going to be what?
Plucking the instrumentation of
Oh, nice.
I'm going to be playing it.
Okay, nice. And then he kind of, stops and pauses and kind of bobs his head, looks at you and smiles. Like, what brings you out on a night like this?
Well, I was looking for some honest work. It's been difficult since the changes.
Yes, it has. it hasn't been the same. You can imagine that a club like ours is not has a lot of patrons lately.
No, and I found that the patrons have varied so much from where they used to be. Strangers are coming through, and you never know quite who's going to show up for one night's entertainment or not. I'm sure you must get a lot of strange faces here in this bar nowadays.
Yeah, not as many as you would think.
Oh no.
Yeah, he seems a little kind of disgruntled.
So no strangers, but no regulars either.
Well, the few we have are more problem than they are worth, so that's all I'll say.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yes.
What sort of problems are they causing?
Oh, the usual.
Pinching your backside?
He
The
laughs at
manners
that.
on them.
It's like, not as much as you would expect. And he says, but they do treat a few staff we have left very unkindly. Quite a number of them have left since they've shown up. There's really no way I can get rid of them.
Well,
Why not? Who are these people?
Yeah, I've probably said too much. And he continues to kind of polish the bar with a dirty-looking rag.
well, perhaps beyond musical assistance, my friend Vic and we could aid you in other ways.
I
Mm,
smile
I'm a-
winsomely.
what was
What'd you
that?
say?
I smile winsomely.
Winsomely.
Yes.
Nice.
Do you even know how to do that, Tris?
Absolutely.
Really?
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's part of the disguise magic.
I will have you roll persuasion. You guys, Kragar and Brokos, you make your way around back, and you find that there is a door kind of in this little alleyway behind the building, between it and the next building. And as you go back there, the door seems to have it's locked currently, but there are windows on either side of it that you think you could try to look through if you wanted to.
I will definitely peek through the windows.
All right. So as you peek through the windows, you see kind of an odd scene. There appears to be two young people standing on a stage singing. There are some tables around there, and the tables, are not full of people. There may be 3 tables occupied total from what you can see from this grimy window. And they appear to be on a stage singing, and you can occasionally hear kind of a loud, bit of laughter or a shout. So there's some kind of entertainment going on in some part of this establishment.
Okay, so not having gone through the front, does this look like it's a separate club?
It's
I see Tris and
Oh no, you don't see Triss or Alar. This looks like to be a kind of a small, very intimate sort of venue, more like a private lounge or dining room.
I'll turn back to Brokos. Seems like a different establishment back here.
Sounds like they're actually professionals on the stage. Alar's not going to be happy with this.
Hmm.
What do you say we take out the competition?
Okay, now I'm down with this.
I say, it's been a while since my brown bear has had blood.
Oh my gosh.
So how many people are back there?
There appear, from what you could tell, there were a total of 5.
Oh yeah, this is easy.
All
The
right.
bards are pushovers. I know that much.
Let's see if any of them will
Watch it.
talk.
You watch yourself, man.
So I'm gonna pull out that potion and I'm gonna go ahead and drink it and turn into that burger guy.
Okay. So you are going to have to try to pick this lock.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So while you're rolling for that, I'm going to go
I'll
back
give him
to
guidance.
Alar.
Add a
and
D4 to that
Tris.
done.
So you guys rolled persuasion.
Oh, yes.
What did you
You
get?
want me to roll persuasion too?
If you want to.
Sure.
You did
Oh my
smile
gosh!
winsomely, so
I rolled a 19, so that's a 20.
Wow.
nice.
You did better than I did.
My smile was amazing.
Yeah, it was quite winsome, actually.
Ding.
Oh.
I don't even know what that would look like on me, so I'll have to practice that in the mirror. So you guys managed to gain this bartender's interest. And he's like, are we talking about the same kind of help that I think we're talking about?
I've got more talents than just in these fingers.
He kind of runs with a stubby fingered little hand through his hair, and he's like obviously thinking, and he's like, oh, it's too dangerous. They're professionals, gladiators. You understand? They know how to kill. Very tough sort.
We've dealt with their type before.
You have. You seem awfully confident. I apologize, but by the looks of you, I'm a little concerned.
I'll even throw in cleaning up the bloodstains.
Well, that's
Your name would never be brought up into it.
well, that is interesting. Do you have some sort of personal connection with these fellows?
We don't know of whom you speak.
Well, I'll tell you the one. He causes the most problem. I thought he was gone for good, and he came back just a while ago. All kinds of trouble, that one. Just never seems to be satisfied with anything. Thinks the world owes him something. I would worry about him. I've heard stories. He's a tough one.
Might I ask you his name, or would that put you on the spot?
I'll just say, I think they call him Razor. I don't know if that's his real name, but probably not.
Well, I was worried it was going to be pickle or hot dog or something like that.
Go with the burger. So he's like, by the way, my name is Truefellow Spindlewood. And you are?
My name is Aileron. You may have heard of me.
I can't say that I have.
And
No.
this is my friend, Vic.
Agreed.
And he's like, pleasure to meet you. Well, I never intended to be running this club by myself. But here I am, making all the important decisions now, it appears. Well, I guess I'm in too deep now. I don't know what your intent is with Razor, but I can tell you he's in one of the private rooms in the back, behind that curtain over there.
And what reward would you have for us if we do you this favor?
I don't have much to give. I guess,
What do you normally pay a bard per night?
well, they get
Besides tips, of course.
room and board, and free meal, free drink.
What
I'll
about
look over
more
at Vic.
information?
What's that?
What about more information?
I suppose. I don't know what I would be able to offer in that regard, but I'm happy to share what I do know.
That's my preferred coin.
Okay. Well, if you'll accept what I have to give, then yes.
What do you think, Vic?
Are there rooms in this inn or in this tavern?
We do have a number of private dining rooms that have been converted over to rooms for guests.
That would be my other request.
Absolutely. You can help me get rid of my current occupants. I'd be happy to give you rooms.
Very well. In exchange for room and board and more information, we will go and meet with your other guests.
He's a tall fellow, shaved head, deformed ear, hard to miss. Somewhere in one of the private rooms. You probably will be able to hear him once you head back there, but again, don't mention my name.
Of course
Otherwise, I won't be around long enough to care, I suppose, but best of luck.
not. We don't need luck. We're professionals.
He just kind of holds up his little hands and, okay, I understand. And
I'll take a last swig of my drink and stand up,
all right.
shoulder my mandolin.
Oh, okay. So back to Kragar and Brokos. You gave him some help picking the lock.
Yeah, so it came out to a 20.
20. Okay. So you do manage to pick the lock and
Quietly as possible.
as quietly as possible, which don't need to worry about a whole lot since it's, you have singers on the other side of this door on a stage and some loud, boisterous laughter. And you manage to pick the lock very quietly anyway and open the door.
All right, well, I will look back at Brokos and say, shall we get a drink? And then I'm going to slip inside.
All right. How
So
about you,
they-
Brokos?
Hey. Yes, I am thirsty,
Okay.
and I will follow him.
All right. So you get inside and you see this small stage right in front of you. It's very narrow, not very wide. There are some curtains on either side that have been pulled back to reveal the stage, but you manage to slip in and quickly go around the side and hide behind the curtains, so it blocking the view of the patrons that are sitting out in the audience.
Their music is predictable and uninspired.
Okay. And what else are you doing?
Well, so you said there's a couple bards on stage, and then there's five? You said five people at tables.
You think there are just 3 other people in patrons in the audience, and 5 was the total with the bards.
So what do they look like? The people sitting at the tables.
Actually, now that you're closer, you can see that they all appear to be very rough-looking types. Lots of scars, muscular humanoids, all human men from what you can tell. two of them appear to be just on the verge of, total collapse. Drank too much, heads down on the table, completely inebriated at this stage of the night. But there is one who is sitting up against the wall, sort of got his feet kicked up on a nearby chair, and he is just loudly mocking these two bards, shouting things at them, laughing at them, and drinking and eating and just being completely obnoxious.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of tuck myself in the corner, kind of lean up in a corner.
All right.
Opposite of the stage, so back of the room.
Perfect.
So I'm thinking about assassinating that guy.
Okay.
I'll lock the door behind us.
Okay.
So how is this different than any other night, Kragar? Like,
What would you guys think about me assassinating someone?
Been like a total of 24 hours since he's assassinated someone. So guys, give him a break. My goodness.
So if he's kind of mocking the bards, can I basically slip up? I don't have a picture of the room exactly, but basically slip up behind him or to the side and.
There's this end of the room is completely dominated by this stage setup, and it's a very narrow room. There's literally no way to surprise this person where they're currently sitting.
But how far is he from the stage?
Is about, let's see, maybe 15 feet. So where I imagine you are positioned, kind of hiding behind the curtain so you won't be seen, you were probably around 15 feet from him as well.
So basically, because I don't know if there's a map or anything, but if I step out, I can basically make a surprise attack if he hasn't acted as my assassinate action, and automatically crit.
Okay. Well, while you're thinking of that, I'm going to go back to Alar and Triss. Okay. So you see the large, heavy curtain, a shimmery red cloth lined with golden tassels. You wrestle your way through the heavy drapery and see a long, broad corridor. Red curtains line each side of the hall, more rooms, private lounges for group dinners and other distractions. You hear some rough talk coming from the end of the hall. A man's voice, gruff, slurred words punctuated by exasperated shouts. You approach the noise and realize that the end of the corridor ends with a stairway that empties into a small performance hall. A stage occupies one end of the room, and a handful of tables surround it. A few of the tables have lit candles. 2 occupants appear to be asleep or too inebriated to move. The center table, however, holds a tall man with his legs kicked up on another empty chair. He sits lazily, throwing insults at the young duo singing on stage. The teens, half-elves, from what you can tell, perhaps a brother and sister, continue to belt lines from the Erling King saga, unmoved by the rude man's loud guffaws.
And does this rude man fit the description of Razor?
Yes, it does. Yes,
All right.
or yes, he does. So, as you're mulling that over, Kragar, you see some more movement towards the back of this hall. Someone peeking around the corner, and you believe it's your good buddy Vic.
Then I will pause for a moment for them to distract him.
All right. So what are you guys going to do? You don't know that Kragar and Brokos are behind the curtain.
No, I just know I'm supposed to kill that guy. So I'm going to hope that he's distracted by the stage, and I'm going to try and sneak up on him.
Okay. So you start to move up.
I'm going to sneak as well.
Okay, roll me some stealth.
23.
Well, it's actually pretty good because I rolled a 17 and a 19. So I have to take the
Nice.
17, which is a 21.
Not bad. Okay, so you guys managed to sneak up behind this person who is facing the stage and very loudly shouting at the performers on the stage. And I'm just gonna. Oh, okay. You get about halfway there though, and he's watching them, and the bards notice you, and they kind of stop, and you can see their eyes fix on you for a second, and then go back to looking at this gentleman at the table, and he spins around to face you, and you can see he is already angry. He takes one look at you and says, now you done it. You got 5 seconds to turn around and get out of my sight, or you'll have to deal with Razor Wick.
I stab him in the back.
Okay, so you're going to attack?
Basically, yeah, I just have to, because I can do 10-foot reach, so I just have to 5-foot step out and
He's got his back turned, so it's beautiful.
Yeah, okay.
and as long as I hit him, I automatically crit.
Okay.
So as long as I don't botch the advantage. So it's not great. 15.
15 does not do it. And so
All our
Yeah.
listeners, please send your dice to Kragar, care of.
you can see the singers screech to a stop mid-syllable and stare wide-eyed at your failed assassination attempt. They obviously know something's going on. People sneaking up behind them, both sides, and so they stop, and he slowly turns his back to the wall, eyes flitting back and forth between, you, Kragar, and you, Triss, and Alar. And he's like, "Do you know who I am? I'm Razor Wick, champion of the darkest pits in all of Vadragan. I once killed a bear with my bare
Okay,
hands."
I'm not going to listen to him. I'm going to interrupt his monologuing by stabbing him.
Okay.
It's really dramatic sounding.
Yeah. We will save that for next time.
Oh,
Uh,
damn it, Jerry.
I love the fact that you interrupted that. I had a whole bunch of stuff written for him, and I'm like, they're never gonna let me get through like one
Yeah, just
sentence.
sit there like, oh, okay.
That's awesome.
Do you know who I am?
Nope.
I'm Kragar, and I brought a bear.
Rawr.
Yeah. Well, here's a bear for you. Well, great job, guys. Again, kind of changing things up on me and keeping it very interesting, and that is incredible. I like the whole go around back approach, and I'm glad that all still worked out. But now you have angered Razor Wick.
Oh no, not Razor Wick.
Have you heard about him? He killed a bear with his bare hands.
With his bare hands. Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, thanks a lot, guys, and we will catch up with you and Razor Wick next time.
Alrighty, sounds
See you
good.
later.
Bye.
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 Bye.